What's up, my friends? Welcome back to a new Diving Live tutorial. Camiel Daamen, your online Ableton certified trainer. And today I want to show you how to create depth in a track. So I've got a simple groove here, which sounds pretty dry. So I want to explain today the importance of using reverbs and delays to create more depth in your music and how important they are. So very basically, you could just go to your audio effects. You can find reverb. You can either use one of these room presets, you know, like a drums room or maybe like a bright room, whatever. They have a lot of different ones. I like to use the standard one, and I'll set it, for instance, on my clap. And how I like to use it is to have like a short decay around 500 to 600, 700 milliseconds. You can maybe EQ a little bit the low end out to make it a little bit more bright. Depends on your idea. And also I'd like to make the size a little bit shorter. So the clap now seems to be in a sort of small room. Dry wet to make it a little bit less obvious. Instead of, right? It creates a nice sense of depth. So that's nice. So we have this. Maybe a little bit shorter or maybe a little bit more dull, the reverb. You can tweak it to your liking. Maybe a little bit shorter. Nice. You can also use sends, obviously, if you want to use return tracks. That's also fine, of course. But for this example, I'll just use it like this. Let's copy the same reverb to my open head here and listen how that sounds. So without them, so if I would like turn this one off and turn this one off and then undo that after 8 beats. You can already hear that we get way more depth in our beats already. So what about the chords, you know? So with just using some reverb and some delay, we can maybe create a super nice nice effect, you know, to make it a little bit more engaging. So let's take a normal delay and a normal reverb. Take the dry wet a little bit back. We're going to filter this delay a little bit here, that the delays are a little bit thinner. I like this 3, the timing. You can use the timing, of course, here. Use the feedback a little bit, maybe a little bit more. And then with the reverb, we're going to keep this reverb, let's say, around 2 seconds. Cut out a little bit of the low end to not make our mix too muddy, you know. And then we keep the size like as is, and we use the dry wet to like dial it in. Let's see what happens. And you see that when I move the filter lower, we get lower delays. Move the filter higher, we get higher delays. And this is nice. We can use less feedback or more. Maybe crank up the decay time a little bit sometimes. So you can see by adding this sort of delay and reverb to your sounds, you get way more depth. So let me just turn all off and listen to our loop without the reverb and the delay, and then with the reverb and the delay. So I'm going to turn off all the reverbs and turn them all back on after 8 beats. That's nice. This is the importance of using reverb and delay in your track, just to create depth and more like a vibe than just having a dry beat and dry sounds, basically. So you want to consider using reverb. Watch out with the low end, you know, that it's not too full. Otherwise you create like a very dense dense sound. You can also, for the chord, make it maybe chorus a little bit, make it a little bit wider. You know, and also obviously what you could use for more interesting sounds is to have a filter on the chord and move that a little bit. These are very simple, basic tools that that we use a lot in electronic music production. So if you're new to this might be really interesting to start exploring a little bit how you can add more depth. And it's very personal. The amount of reverb you use, the length of the reverb, the delays, it's not that what I use that goes for all. You have to like sort of experiment with it and find out what you like and what suits the type of music you make. So I hope this was helpful. If you like it, please leave a little like down below. Maybe a comment what you want the next tutorial to be about. If you like what I do, check out the Patreon link that's down below in the comments. I have a community with about 35 people, something like this. We do monthly feedback sessions, meetups, masterclasses by other artists, remix contests, and a lot of stuff. So if you want to join my community, it would be super fun, and you support the cause by this. Also check lessonsinlife.com. I teach beginners courses and intermediate courses. I have private students from all over the world, and on the side are also some preset packs and sample packs. Some of them are free, some of them cost money. If you'd like to buy one, you would support me a lot with doing this. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and see you at the next one.